What's up, guys? What we're going to do today is I'm going to play four tables of 10-20 for the first half of this video, and I'm going to play one for the second half. We're going to do about 5 minutes of each. And what I want to show, or I guess what I'm going to do, is I'm going to just stream of conscious. I'm just going to flow. I'm just going to talk, sort of talk through my thought process, everything that's coming into my head as the hands are coming up. And what I want you to do is I want you to see sort of, what's in my mind. Because, and you guys probably could do the exact same exercise, see what's in your mind. And what we're trying to do here is compare more tables to less tables, and why I think too many people play too many tables and would be better served to at least play some of their sessions on less tables to provoke more thoughts. So, all right, I guess we're just gonna get it kicked off here. All right, here we go. We have four tables. We've got three no limit and one PLO. I threw in the PLO because I couldn't find another no limit table, and also because I wanted to make it even a little bit more challenging. In fact, we were two tables of PLO earlier. Maybe we should be two tables, but we'll just do one. It's fine. And the idea is that I make it harder for myself because now it's like a whole other sort of set of problems. So all right, so we have two hands here. We're gonna start. Where's the timer? Okay, so it's 6 minutes 30 seconds. I'm gonna stop. All right, start now. A6, weak hand in the big blind. Probably under-realized, four-way pot, great pot odds, but I don't know what we should do. Heads up, feel good, not great about calling. Fishes in the pot, I don't know. PLO table, weird spot. It outs to the nuts. We get check raised or in bed trouble. Diamonds, jack, 10. A lot of good turn cards. I think we gotta just check. This guy bets a really dry board, and a lot of people. Ace high gotta fold. I have no idea what we would bluff with or call with. I don't know what our whole range would look like there. How to play into four-way pot versus that bet size. Get led into outs to the nuts. Gotta call. 6-5 is just a fold. Fish opens. Want to play queen jack in the small blind, but don't really think I can versus a 3x. Even though he's a fish. Really tough turn card. Just have to fold versus the big bet. Even though we have all those sort of strong outs, they might just be dead. Oh, good, we missed. Ace-9 is an easy fold. I was going to just fold this, but I just think that you shouldn't get 3-bet quite enough in these games, I think. So maybe I'll just raise. Okay flop for our hand. This guy's like a fishy player, so this flop might be deceptively good for him. It's typically not great for him because he doesn't have a ton of hands. He's more has like two or three high cards in his hand. I don't think there's like much of a purpose to bet. We can maybe bet really small, but I just don't know if that's like a good play or not. I think just check and lose to a couple hands now. That's really big. I don't know what he would do here. I think it's just like he has a really strong hand or sort of nothing. I don't have a 6. I don't have a ton of blockers. If they ever bluff enough in the check down spots, if you ever check a 7, I guess he could have a straight down value bet it. What does he bluff with? He's like king, queen, x something. Like, I don't know if he would bluff or value bet this. More time now. I get to see it tomorrow, so like slightly disincentivizes me from calling. He's betting full pot. Would he do that with a bluff? I think he would. Would he do that as a value bet? Probably would do that with that as well. I don't know. It's a weird board for him. Yeah, fuck. Let's just see it. Got him. Like the weird thing is like having the Ace and the queen weren't great because those are cards that I wanted him to have that would he would subsequently bluff with. Alright, kings and 7s, good hand. Probably 3-bet it. 4s, easy raising the cutoff. Kings and 7s. 3-bet. Please don't 4-bet. If you 4-bet, I have to fold. Yeah, I have to fold. Tough board. Well, not really. This is check raise all in. It's actually like not a great board for my range, but easy board for my hand, I suppose. Small bet here. Withdrawing potential. Hard to find good bluffs. Could do with something. I wonder if I should have called the king 7-7. Actually should have considered it. So then we're gonna flip for 6K. Oh my god, we're like dead. What? Why did he tank it? Fours. Not sure. I guess bet. I guess like how many like better than one pair, like even strong one pairs does he have? He's got to be mostly. Is that the best bet size? I'm like not sure. He thinks that's funny. Flop everything you got it in, and it's hilarious. The queen. So this, I guess this check would be like a bit of showdown value and be better off bluffing with like 7-6 or 9-7. Okay, good. You would have called with that. Surprised he didn't do that at pre-flop. 8-7, not a good board for us. We got to pick hands to bet with. I guess just like low diamonds or like maybe the low straight draw because we called in the big blind. I wonder if maybe I don't think he was slow rolling me with that ace 9-8. Well, maybe he was. He either was slow rolling and like wanted to like make it look like he had a decision, which I mean, once you check pot there, it's never. Or just like was worried about me having the straight. But little does he know, I think he's a favorite versus the dry straight, most of the straight hands. So I guess the fact that he said LO in chat makes me feel like he was more likely to be the type of player that just didn't really understand how strong his hand was. The whole thing just struck me as like this guy's a noob. Oh, all right, we're done. Okay, so now we're going to cut it down to one table. And which table will that be? I guess we'll just sit out here. Well, let's see. We're not exactly getting the rapid fire action because all these tables are full ring. But let's see. All right. Well, now there's not like much of a stream of anything. I guess. Where are we gonna? All right. I guess I'll just do this table. Zoom in here. All right. So this cutoff, like 3K raises, 3K calls, big blind calls. This is the hand where this hand sort of just happened. What happened in this hand? Okay, so he raised it 2.5x. So he's probably right. This guy called. God only knows what he is, and then I called. And okay, and he delays and barrels. He can have ace 10, maybe jack 10. But I mean, I guess he could maybe have like a set of queens. Raising to 2.5x here. I just raised to that. Basically says that I'm a reg, but is that okay? Is it like so if I min raised or 3x, and I had ace king suited. So if I had a really strong hand, I wanted action. Maybe I should do something weird and sort of min raise with that hand to get like more action, and then or 3x of it, and then maybe raise it to 45 or 50, and let them think that I'm a weaker player or rather regular with a weaker hand. They'll play more straightforward versus, whereas they might interpret the min raise because I interpret the min raise as like weakness, as like a weaker than average hand. This guy calls in the small blind 50. It's always interesting. I think he raised the 50 one time. So these two are definitely regs, and then this guy may or may not be a recreational player. We don't know yet. He's got more than 100 big blinds though, so I would say maybe odds are just on him being, a reg. We folded a straight, what would be a straight draw, although it's really an ugly straight draw. I guess the 9 isn't. Yeah, 9's not that great. I mean, they're not gonna have the better straight that much, so I guess it's basically the nuts, but makes the jack looks a lot less appealing. So you need them to have 9s or a set or like the 2 pair or something like that. PLO, it's a really shitty straight draw. That's maybe where my mind was at. It was just like, oh god, 6-7 on jack 8-5. Ugh, gross. Oh, what are we doing here, guys? Oh. All All right, so this board checks around. This guy, the small blind leads. The small blind. I mean, if he's flatting, he has to have something here. If he's bluffing, he has king queen or king 10. He doesn't really have king 10 off, so he just has king 10 suited, but that might even just 3-bet pre-flop or king queen off. So I guess he could have ace 7 of spades, ace 6 of spades, do something weird with like sixes, but like that's like a spot where he just has it. And it's kind of the shitty spot about ring no limit is that there's spots where like they just have it, and you just have to go into like a hero folding mode. He also bet 2/3, which I'm not so sure about that bet size. I wonder if that's the best. I guess that's okay. It can't be that bad. Now he's min raising the button. All right, I'm gonna interpret that as he's being weak. We're gonna 3-bet. I mean, this hand could go either way pre-flop anyway. I don't think it's unlikely he's particularly strong, so I'm just gonna go for the bigger size 3-bet. If I'm not gonna face a 4-bet, this is gonna be the highest EV way to play this hand. He just takes it down. Yeah, having 100% equity in the pot, it's a lot of equity. It's a small pot, but 100% equity is a lot, so it ends up sort of like more in equilibrium. It balances it out. Now this guy's in the tank. This means he's maybe not as strong a player as I thought, or he's playing a lot of tables. Maybe he's playing like a lot of sites. I don't know, he just min raised. But he was 2.5xing, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he just like is already really fight at the small blind. It's always versus a button open. It's a fishier play. If you follow the lab strategy, we don't do very much of that. Okay, this guy 2.5x's. Alright, we're gonna pot +1 on the small blind with 7, which is like standard. Yeah. If he 4-bets, probably just call. It depends on the size, but probably just call. He's gonna have a lot of ace-x 4-bet hands. Okay, 4-bet's like pretty small. We could also jam. I don't know like if they like bluff a lot or not. Yeah. You know, I want to challenge myself to call more of these and then like navigate post flop. All right, an ace-high board is going to be like an easy. We're just going to like let it go. Ace-high boards just are so like. If he was going to bluff too, he might have like a hand like a 7. Like the only good thing about this board is if he has queens through 10s, maybe we can bluff him. But I just think he makes an ace with so many of his bluffs that. You just can't. You just want to play overly tight. Turns a queen. Getting lower in our range. So we would have made a queen. Okay, now he bets. Well, now we'll just fold. Don't have to worry about it too much. And it's ignition. We'll get to see what he has tomorrow. Thank you, Lord Calvin. We are so grateful to you, sir. Yeah, that's something that I was thinking about. I was thinking that I tended to just shove to sort of make. I was shoving because I was shoving a lot of those spots pre-flop because two reasons. The first reason is that it would be a particularly effective strategy versus me, which because like I'll like 4-bet a range that would allow a couple of hands that would be like on the margin to shove versus. But I think in my experience it goes good but not great versus the field. The other thing is that it's oftentimes difficult to realize equity in those post-flop spots, but I mean, a big part of the reason it's difficult is that I've been leading towards not playing in the playing those hands as calls in the marginal spots. So like it's just I think almost like a lack of experience in the way the game is like sort of evolved, and I think that if I call there more, I'll play those pots more and get more comfortable and then ultimately sort of. Yeah, be able to do that, know what to do post flop, and then be able to like 3-bet that hand. Because when I face a 4-bet, which is a big deal, I'll realize that pretty well. Here, check queen high on an ace high board, turn a straight draw. Could be value betting a ton of hands. I go with half pot. It's not a bad bet size. A bigger bet size might be better though, because I can have like a lot of big hands here, and like your big blind player's not really going to 3-bet. A lot of the bigger hands pre-flop. I probably am not extracting enough equity in that pot. I'm betting too small, allowing him to efficiently call with a lot of the weak hands that are calling pre-flop and then double check or checking pop, checking turn. I certainly lose a lot of the hands that he bluffs with. I lose to a lot of the hands he will check to, king high, better queen high, 5x, 10x, number of hands that would really could take away the pot. So it's a great spot to bluff, and it's going to go along with a lot of value bets. So I definitely like the bet there. Although that said, I could be betting a little bit too wide. There's a good chance that I'll check a hand like 9-7, 9-8, 7-6, hands that are picking up equity or really aren't much of anything on the turn, and then maybe I should bluff with those, and then not bluff with the hand as strong as queen high, and bluff with it on the river. Or maybe I should just bet them all because he'll fight for more pots on the river, perceive my range is weaker, whereas on the turn he's a little bit more timid. He sort of probes or just gives up. In those spots, I tend to find that it's better to pick. It's like in practice, one is better than the other, but you never, unless you play, you play a lot with certain players or player pool, you never 100% know which one is the absolute best play. All right, 5-4 off, could be a call, could even be a 3-bet. I don't know. I don't think people fold. I'm not sure if the guys in this player pool fold enough to the 3-bet from this situation to make it a 3-bet, so I think I might just call with it. Let's see, this guy tanks and folds. He's tanking like a lot of his decisions. It's probably a reg. This guy folds. All right, we'll play it as a call. Should we play it as a check raise on the flop? We turn at ace-2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Check, turns an ace. We're going to check our whole range here for sure. And have to consider bluffing. Check. Oh, man. You have to either overbet. I think we just bet small. I think check raising a jack is just too tempting. I think it's just bet some bluffs. I mean, this is definitely a suitable bluff, and then bet a pair of aces. I think he would definitely double check an ace, so we have to bet small to the point where, okay, and then he raises. This is just always a good hand. It's like always a stronger ace. It's looking to value. This is never a bluff. Because he can't have a bluff. Like, all of his like 10 high and lower would just bet the flop. He would, it's like he can literally never be bluffing here. And I think we can't even really come over the top because I think that with our bet size as it is, we're essentially saying we have a bluff or an ace. We never really have a jack. Like our jack would probably go for a bigger bet size because we would never really anticipate him raising. So essentially what this bet, given the line, is saying is like we have an ace or we have a bluff and we're trying to get you to hero call with king high or a pocket pair you decided to check the flop with, which might not even be the case. That said, again, we have like basically the actual worst hand we could really have here. So I guess it's not the worst play to like potentially bet this river, but it might be. It might just be a situational spot where you just really can never bluff. And like if we just looked through all these spots, like just the way that people are actually playing, we just do not make chips here. Anyway, that is my video. So I hope, given the analysis you sort of got in the first part versus the analysis you sort of got in the second part, you see these are all thoughts that I'm having. I'm having them consciously. Like you may or may not. You probably don't even have them subconsciously when you're playing. Again, there's like 4 tables, and people are playing kind of slow. You're playing 1 table PLO. People are really slow there. You're playing 4 tables with Zoom. You're playing 8 tables. Like you're not learning. You're not challenging your brain. You're not running through these thought processes. There's very, very, very hard to improve. That's actually not true. It's hard to become truly elite, and it's hard to you're learning. So by playing a lot of hands, playing a lot of tables, you get a sense for spots and plays, but you miss a lot of spots. You miss a lot of the very subtle things, a lot of the the tricky things. And then when you go up against really sort of tougher, higher level competition that is privy to these things, you can't compete with them because they just know more than you. So in my opinion, it's good to do both. It's good to play a lot of tables, but it's good to play a few tables every once in a while and really slow down, focus, and think through hands, and challenge yourself to, again, run through that whole thought process. And then you'll have those things internalized. You can use them when you're playing a lot of tables, and you can move up. And that's where the big money is in poker. It's being able to move up, play the higher stakes, because no matter what your 1-2 win rate is, if you're winning at 10-20, you're never going to be able to compete. Anyway, thank you guys for watching my video, and I hope you see the light.